By some estimates, soft tissue problems in the United States cost as much as $200 billion a year. No matter how you look at it, it's a very significant problem. In my opinion, one of the reasons it's such a big problem is healthcare has been aiming treatment for soft tissue in a very broad stroke, very generally applied. So we take the tools that we use for other things and we just blanket apply them to soft tissue. Not enough specificity and not enough science behind what's really going on with the soft tissues. What ART does, active release techniques, is it takes a more in-depth look at what's going on structurally and histopathologically in the tissues themselves. There are four major things we need to address: tension, texture, movement, and function, to a degree that hasn't been done before. So we do that by analyzing the tissues manually and by feeling and looking at motion, not just of the entire body, but each individual tissue with respect to itself and relative to other tissues. So each tissue must slide over or under or through another tissue. A nerve, for example, can be entrapped by being stuck in a pronator teres. So when I move my hand this way, as if I'm checking at a grocery store, instead of the nerve sliding through the pronator teres, it's stuck. So I get a tug all day consistently, little tugs on the nerve. They don't like that. So then I get what's usually diagnosed as a carpal tunnel syndrome, even though the nerve isn't trapped at the carpal tunnel. It's usually at the pronator teres. So we'll take 300 to 500 different situations like that, apply sound principles of analysis and treatment, and use some very simple techniques to actually change those. That brings up probably the most significant problem that we face in teaching ART. Is on the surface it looks very simple, and in fact it is. It's just not easy. It takes about 2 years to really get a handle on doing ART and get the best results that you can get. It's quite simple though. In reality, all we're doing is we're shortening a tissue, applying a manual tension, feeling for where the problem is in texture, tension, or movement, and then lengthening the tissue or causing one tissue to move across the other. And where it doesn't move correctly or they don't slide correctly, I'm going to apply a tension in a specific way that reinforces that motion and causes it to occur where it wasn't occurring before. Actually quite simple. The problem is we need to learn how to palpate all those things. So we have to learn the anatomy better than we learned it before. Not only do we need to be able to find all those things and know where the origin insertion is and where the muscle goes under the muscle, but you actually have to be able to find it and feel it with your hands. So in the seminars, what we mostly do is we assume that you've studied the manual. Each manual has about 100 protocols in them and variations of each protocol, descriptions of the anatomy, descriptions of the common problems. We assume that you know that when you come to the seminar. And we're going to spend 3 days working on palpation skills and treatment skills so that you feel what is going on, and then you can produce the results that other providers are getting once you go back into the office.